You're watching Sky News live from Windsor, where Donald Trump is spending the first day of his second historic state visit to the UK. The King, the Queen and the Prince and Princess of Wales welcoming the US leader and his wife Melania earlier as the royal VIP treatment got underway. Well, first, the President left the US ambassador's residence in central London. Cameras all trained on the sky to catch that moment of him in flight on this cloudy and rather overcast day. Well, the King was seen waiting for the couple's arrival inside Windsor Castle. He was taking a peek out of the open door as his household prepared for the big moment. After the short trip from the capital to the castle here in Windsor, Marine One touching down, the presidential helicopter fitted with missile defence and radar jamming systems landing on the lawn in the Berkshire grounds just before 12:15 this lunchtime. President Trump walking down the steps to shake hands with the Prince and Princess of Wales. The President then walking the short distance to meet the King and Queen, with Her Majesty now attending this entire state visit after recovering from acute sinusitis. Next up, the much-anticipated carriage procession around the grounds of the Windsor estate, all kept, of course, behind that ring of steel that has been built up around the royal residence, especially for this visit. The national anthem played as the carriages drew up to the castle. To the sound of the American national anthem, President Trump once again joined the King and Queen on stage. Then, at the invitation of King Charles, President Trump was offered the opportunity to inspect the Guard of Honour. Donald Trump's links to and love of Scotland well known, the sound of bagpipes bringing the welcoming ceremony to a close. President Trump and the King then headed inside the castle ahead of a lunch together, which was held in the state dining room. The President and First Lady visiting St George's Chapel to lay a wreath on the tomb of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Later on today, it is the flypast and, of course, the state banquet tonight. Well, it's been a busy day so far, much more to come. Our royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills and our international affairs editor Dominic Waghorn have been alongside me following events today. Where shall we start? Let's start with the news. Let's start with the latest news that's been coming from the bits that have been happening behind closed doors. Of course, there's a bit of a break now from the cameras. We understand that gifts have been exchanged. Rhiannon, I know you've got details of those. And of course, that first official picture coming from inside Windsor Castle, which took us by surprise as to why this one was chosen. Oh, this isn't the one. This is probably Donald Trump in less animated fashion, but I was referring to a more animated picture we saw of Donald Trump looking surprised. And these are pictures of Donald Trump looking at the royal collection in the green drawing room, Rhiannon. This is the picture we were talking about.
Yes, so this traditionally happens with every state visit. The royal collection, they have a look through what is a huge, extensive archive that they have, and they try and pick individual pieces that they know will kind of pique the interest of the visiting dignitary. Something clearly caught his attention there, but what is really interesting is that I understand there were some specific items that he requested to see, and yeah, what do you think of this? Apparently it was things like documents to indicate George III's realisation that America was no longer under his control. So it was all about American independence. So I'm sure Dominic has a few thoughts on what that says about Trump and how he feels about the UK-US relationship.
Well, I think it's interesting. Does it bode well or ill? I don't know for Britain. On the eve of the 250th anniversary celebrations next year, is Donald Trump going to bang on effectively as to how Britain lost the colonies? Because, you know, Donald Trump likes winners, he doesn't like losers. Is he going to emphasise that point? Interesting that he's chosen to do so, but I think more reassuringly, his present to the and from his First Lady to His Majesty was a replica of a President Eisenhower sword, a gift symbolising profound respect and a reminder of the historical partnership that was critical to winning World War II. So on the one hand, he is highlighting the rift between Britain and America under George III, the fact that George III eventually realised he couldn't hang on to the colonies and America won that war, but he's also highlighting in his gift to the King and Queen he's using a gift to highlight a partnership in another war. So I think that will be reassuring, at least to his host,
we'd hope so, yeah.
The subtle messages that go with gift giving. You think it's political around families exchanging Christmas gifts. They've got nothing on a state visit. Let's talk about, Rhiannon, what we've seen unfold so far. As I put to Alistair Bruce, our royal commentator, to the untrained eye, in these kind of circumstances, everything seems to have gone according to plan.
Do you know what? I was really lucky. I was right there in the quadrangle for kind of the military display as it got underway. And in the lead up to this, no one was being coy or shy about it. They were saying this is literally the best that we can offer. It is the biggest, largest military ceremonial welcome we have seen for a state visit in living memory. So literally they are rolling out every bit of red carpet they possibly can. And you're inside kind of the grounds of Windsor Castle, and this is a place that we know the royal family love. It kind of has a more personal touch to it. And I felt like I really had a ringside seat to watch this spectacle unfold and really watch the interaction between Donald Trump and the King, which seemed incredibly relaxed. Donald Trump, look, Dominic kind of follows him more than I do, but he kind of had this air of calm about him that you don't necessarily see all of the time. I think it shows he has a huge amount of respect, admiration for what he was seeing in front of him in terms of that military spectacle. We know that he loves his military history, so if we're going to lay this on for anybody, you might as well do it for him, really. But there were lovely interactions between him and the King, especially quite a funny moment where Donald Trump, clearly really enjoying inspecting the guard, but got to the end of the line, and the King had to say to him, watch out for that sword, as this soldier kind of lowered a sword in front of him. They know the eyes of the world are watching, and they don't want anything to go wrong.